Hi Gold Coasters, welcome to our Active and Healthy Fitness Fundamentals class. Today you've got me, Coach Hanna, and Coach Ruby here taking you through a fun multi-sport and fitness session. Generally for kids aged 2 to 5 years old, but you can make some adaptations at home if you've got older kids or siblings or if the parents want to get involved. So today we're going to show you through a few activities that we do at our weekly classes. If you don't have some of the things we have at home, I'm going to give you some suggestions around things that you can use instead. But really the main aim of this is to give you some ideas of what to do with the kids while we're home and we've got more time on our hands to get active, but also just to get the kids moving and having fun. So don't stress too much if you don't have everything that we have here today. It really is just about getting the kids active and enjoying exercise. So I'm going to be taking you through the coaching session today, and Coach Ruby here, who you may recognise from some of our fitness fundamental classes across the Gold Coast, she's going to be our kid and take you through the demonstrations. Now, we're going to show you through some of the exercises, but at home you can go for as little or as long as you like. You don't have to do it for the same amount of time as us, okay? So if your kids find their favourite activity and want to do it for an hour, that's fine, go for it. On the same vein, if they have an activity that they're not particularly into, give that one a miss and just move on to the next one. So to kickstart today, we are going to do some balloon work. Now balloons are great for young kids to learn hand-eye coordination to help with their reaction time, but also it helps with the gross motor skills around throwing and catching. So Ruby's going to pick up her favourite colour balloon. I'm going to go with purple. And to start with today with our balloon work, we're just going to get the kids to throw it up and catch it, okay? So they can throw it up little and catch if they're having trouble, or they can throw it up really high and catch. So watching Ruby here, she's going to throw the balloon up and catch. Throw the balloon up and catch. If you find that's too easy for your kids at home, we're going to get them on the move so they can walk while throwing and catching. So throwing it up and catching, throwing it up and catching. Reminding your kids to keep their eyes on the balloon at all times. All right, once they've had a go at that, you can get them to do it for say a minute. If you want, you can make a bit of a challenge and see how many catches they can get in a minute. Have another go and see if they can beat that number of catches. You can again make it harder for your kids by getting them to go back to 0 if they drop the balloon and have to start again in that minute. All right, this time now we're going to tap the balloon up into the air and not let it hit the ground. So watching Ruby, she's going to hit it up, tap, 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 and keeping it up off the ground. We want the kids to use their hands only to keeping it up in this one. That's it. Again, you can time your kids for a minute and see how many taps they can get, and we want to try and keep it off the ground. To make it a bit more fun for kids at home, we find that if Ruby's tapping it up into the air, Mum or Dad can come and make it harder by trying to tap it away from them. And that way they're using their reaction time to try and get the balloon before it hits the ground. All right, once you've had a go at that one, we're then going to use heads and hands, okay? So you can either tap with your hand or your head to keep the balloon in the air. So watching Ruby, she's going to touch head and hand. To make it harder for some of your older kids at home, you can call out the command as the parent. So if Ruby's tapping it up, I might say head, and she has to use her head to tap. If I say hand, she has to use her hand to tap. Again, for those older kids, if you want to make it harder again, we're doing opposites, okay? So if Ruby's tapping it up and I say hand, she has to hit it with her head. If I say head, she has to hit it with her hand. So that's working on their speed of reaction time, but it's also working on getting them to think quickly and to do switch and do the opposites, which is a much harder cognitive task. All right, to finish our balloon work, we're going to get the kids to use any other body part other than their hands, okay? So this is obviously a bit harder to do. So Ruby's going to hit it up and she can use her elbows, she can use her feet, her knees, her head, her eyes, her ears. And if she hits it with her hands, we're going to get the kids to do 2 star jumps, okay? So they have to stop, 2 star jumps to add in a bit of a fitness component. All right, so let's go, Ruby. We're gonna see if we can keep it off the ground. And again, you can make it harder by coming across and trying to tap their balloon out of the way for them, okay? I guarantee kids will love that one. So that is some of our balloon work at home. As I said earlier, you can do this for as long or as little as you like. You'll often find that kids could do this for a good half an hour or 40 minutes just with the balloon work, particularly if the parents get involved and do some of that hitting out of the way. It makes for a much more fun experience. All right, so give that one a go. And as kids do it more and more often, what you can do is introduce a ball as well. So if you have a soft ball at home, whether it be a bigger ball, or for older kids, you can use a tennis ball. Obviously they can't do a lot of the hitting off the hands and the heads, but you can get them throwing it up and catching, or another alternative, which you can do with the balloons as well, but it is a lot more fun with a bigger ball, is throwing it up and clapping. So Ruby can show you how she throws it up, and she's going to try and get as many claps as she can before she catches it. So you can do that with the balloon, or you can do that with a bigger ball. All right, so we're going to move on to our next activity. We're going to do some relays. So Ruby is going to come and stand over here at the marker. We're going to pop our balloons out of the way for this one. Okay, so we're going to do a mix of running and athletics type relays and some animal relays as well. This is a great one for home because you don't need any equipment, you just need your body. We've got some markers placed out, but you can pretty much use whatever you like. You can use your favorite toys to make a place, you can just go to the fence and back, or if you're in your lounge room at home, you can just go from one wall to the other. So to start with, this is a fun one, and maybe not one to do inside. This might be an outside one only, is to run as fast as you can. Okay, now you can set this up like a relay. So if you've got a spoon or a kitchen utensil that you can use as a relay baton, you can pass that to your child. If you've got more kids or your parents are getting involved, you can create a little bit of a relay race if you like. So Ruby's going to get ready. We're going to on your marks, and she's going to go, run as fast as she can, out, around, and back she comes to the start. Now, if at home, you can do that 3 times before you move on to the next one, okay? So Ruby's going to show again. She's going to go as fast as she can, out and back to the marker and tagging her teammate. Now, if you're wanting a bit of a challenge at home, or if you're on your own, so you don't have another sibling or somebody to join in, you can time yourself. So you can set your timer from the start to the finish and see what time you get, and then try and beat your score. Okay, similarly, if you've got your siblings at home and you want to go up against them, what you can do is set up different markers and race against each other to see who's the fastest in the family. Or you can see if you're quicker than mum or dad. I reckon you might go okay there. All right, our next one is skipping. So for skipping, we're going to focus on getting our knees up as high as we can and driving our arms through. So Ruby's going to show us nice big skips. These ones don't have to be quick. And back she comes. Very good, knees up nice and high. She's going to show us again how she drives her arms through, knees up nice and high. This one doesn't have to be done fast, but we want to get your knees up nice and high to get the skipping happening. Again, you can do that 3 times at home and then tag your teammates, or you can time yourself and see if you can beat that score. All right, and next one, we're going to take a couple of steps and then do a big jump up into the air as high as Ruby can. So she's going to take a couple of steps and jump, couple of steps and big jumps, couple of steps, big jumps, and then she can run back to the start. If you want to make this one harder at home and add a bit of a fitness component, Ruby's going to get down into a frog position and she's going to make them frog jumps, and she's going to spring up as high as she can. Very good, as high as she can, big jumps all the way to the end, and then she's going to run back. So you'll notice when Ruby does it, she gets down nice and low but keeps her chest up nice and tall. So when we're doing frogs, we don't want to be bending over like this and hurting our backs. It's all about getting down in a nice squat position and jumping up nice and high. All right, our next one, she's going to take a few steps and then brush the ground with her hand, and we're going to swap sides each time. So little couple of steps and brushing the ground, couple of steps, brushing the ground. As you can see here, we don't have a huge amount of space, but at home, you can make this a harder activity by running and touching the ground every few steps. Okay, do that a few times and tag your teammates or swap over and have a race against your siblings. All right, we're gonna add in some animal movements now. So for our next activity, we're going to do bear crawling. So Ruby's going to get down into a bear crawl position and walk all the way out, bums in the air, knees off the ground. So I know this is a pretty tricky movement to do, but the important thing is to keep our knees off the ground. Very good. Nice work, Ruby. Our next animal movement, she's going to do a horse gallop. So for this one, you have to saddle up like you're on a horse. Very good, Ruby. And off we go, galloping, galloping. Good job. All the way out and all the way back. Ruby's going to show you that one again, galloping all the way out. This one you can make a race and see who has the fastest horse at home. All right, very good. Now for our next one, we're going to do some balancing. So we're going to take it down and make this one slow, okay? So this one isn't about as going as fast as you can, but about balancing. So I'm going to grab my pillow and Ruby's going to balance this one on her head, arms out for support, all the way out. Now if Ruby drops the pillow, she's going to do 2 star jumps before she keeps going. Okay, this one takes a bit more concentration. Oh, and 2 star jumps. Ruby's going to do that one more time, out, balancing it on her head. Now, if you don't have a small pillow like this, you can use a stuffed animal, whatever you've got that's soft that you can keep on your head. Cueing the kids at home for balancing, because this is a hard activity, particularly for kids that are a bit younger. You want to cue them to keep their eyes looking forward, okay? And what I often say to kids is if they put the pillow on their head like Ruby, yep, coming this way, Ruby, good. If she looks down at the ground, where does the pillow go? The pillow hits the floor. If Ruby keeps her eyes up, and what I can do for little kids is I'll say, look at mummy, look at mummy, look at mummy, and then she keeps the pillow on her head. And that just helps them to have something visual to look at so that they can keep their heads up nice and tall. It is a harder skill for younger kids, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't give it a go. It's important for them to practice, and what you'll notice over time, the more they do it, the better they get at it. So we'll pop our pillow out. Again, you can do that one a few times. If they really like it, keep going. If it's something that they get a bit frustrated with, give them the opportunity, but then move on to something else. So our last one that we're going to do for relays is an oldie but a goodie, and most kids love this one. It's our egg and spoon. So I'm going to grab our egg and spoon. So as you can see here, I'm using just your regular kitchen spoon that you'll have at home. And I've just got any type of small ball. So you can use a table tennis ball. You can boil some eggs. You can use raw eggs if you want to have a go at it and make it a bit fun, and you feel like the kids won't make too much of a mess. But you're just going to balance the ball on the spoon like this. Ruby's going to come over and she's going to walk out and around our marker, balancing the egg on the spoon. Again, this one doesn't have to be done quickly, but if she drops the ball off the spoon, just like before, she's going to do 2 star jumps. So 2 star jumps before she's allowed to keep going. Now for this one, what you'll often find with the younger kids is that they will try to hold it like this and walk out and around like holding the spoon. Encourage them to bring their hands down the spoon. For little kids, the closer they are to the head of the spoon, the easier it is to balance. For older kids, they can go with 2 hands further down the spoon, or if you want to make it harder, they can hold it just with 1 hand. To make it even more challenging for the older kids, they can use their non-dominant hand. So I'm left-handed, so naturally I'll want to hold it in my left hand. If I switch it to my right hand, it makes it that little bit harder while I'm balancing. So Ruby's going to show it one more time, walking out around the marker, balancing, keeping her eye on the spoon. And that's an important prompt, telling your kids to keep their eye on the spoon, because often they'll want to look away. Nice work, Ruby. So that's our relays. As you can see, we've just used things that we have around the home. You can make this as long or as short as you like. You can really go for say 20 minutes doing a lot of these relays. For the animal movements, you can get kids to choose their own animals. So we used a horse and we used a bear and a frog, but you can do crab walking, you can do tigers, you can do gorilla walks, whatever you like at home, and get the kids to get creative and come up with their own. All right, so I'm just going to pop the egg and spoon away. And And we've got one more activity for the kids at home, and this one is called Don't Wake the Tiger. So I'm going to be the scary tiger, and Ruby's going to be trying to get the tiger's food. Now, because we've got balloons here, we're going to use balloons as the tiger's food, but you can use whatever you like at home, okay? So if you've got stuffed animals, you can pop them out there. If you've got markers, balls, whatever you like. And just like all of our other activities here today, we haven't got a huge amount of space while we're filming this, but if you've got a big backyard, you can spread the distance between the kids and the tiger 10, 15, 20 meters so that they have to travel further and run back further to get back to the start. But to show you what to do today, we're going to pop our tiger food out where the tiger's going to stand. There we go. And Ruby's job is, when the tiger is asleep, Ruby's going to take quiet, small steps to try and get out to the tiger, steal the food without waking the tiger up. Now, if the tiger is woken up, they're going to be pretty cranky and they're going to scare the kids all the way back to the start. Okay, so as soon as the tiger wakes up, the kids have to stop trying to hunt the food and have to get back to the start without getting caught by the tiger. If they do get tagged, they get to come and be the tiger and have a turn. Or if you want more taggers, they can become a tiger cub and help the big tiger out to catch the rest of the kids. All right, so we're going to show you what to do. So I'm going to be here and I'm going to go fast asleep. Ruby's going to come out and try and take some food and get back to the start as fast as she can. Rah! All right, very good. So Ruby gets 2 pieces of food there. The idea is to keep going until all the tiger's food is taken or somebody is tagged. So we're going to have one more go, see if Ruby can creep out and get the tiger's food. Rah! There we go. So because I tagged Ruby, she would then have a turn at being the tiger and we'd pop all the food back and have another go. Now this is another one that kids can do for a really long time. They really enjoy it. If the parents want to have a turn at being the tigers first and then swap over, often the kids really enjoy it as well. If you've got more kids or a smaller space, and you're worried about the kids running, you can make it a rule that they only walk out and walk back to tag. Or you can add skipping or slow jogging, whatever it is that fits the space that you've got. But this is a really fun one that the whole family can get involved in, just like a lot of the activities that we've done today. So thank you so much for joining our Fitness Fundamentals class today. We hope you've got some ideas about what we do with our preschool classes for that 2 to 5 year old age group. We're really out there trying to improve those gross motor skills for kids so that when they get ready and go to school, they are ready and raring to go. They're able to sit for longer periods, helps them with their concentration, and it goes far beyond just developing their gross motor skills. So thanks for joining us. Thank you to Coach Ruby for being our lovely demonstrator today, and we hope to see you out and about in our fitness fundamental classes across the coast. Thanks, guys.